It happened in the middle of the night. Sam Heughan was alone in a quiet London hotel room, the city humming faintly outside his window. He had just wrapped another exhausting day of press interviews and rehearsals. His phone buzzed once, then again, an unfamiliar number from Scotland. Something inside him froze. When he picked up, the trembling voice on the other end belonged to a close family friend. The words came in fragments, heavy with panic. "Sam, it's your mum. She's in the hospital, heart attack. It's serious." For a moment, the world went silent. The walls, the city lights, even his own heartbeat disappeared. He didn't speak, didn't move. Only when the call ended did his breath finally come, ragged, uneven, almost a sob. Within minutes, he was on the phone with his agent, canceling everything. "No interviews, no appearances," he said flatly. "I have to go home." By dawn, Sam was at the airport, wearing a plain cap and hoodie to hide from cameras. A few fans recognized him, but the usual smile wasn't there. His eyes were red, his jaw tight. The man who had faced armies and heartbreak on screen now looked small, just a son trying to get back to his mother. On the flight to Scotland, he stared out the window, watching clouds drift across the grey morning sky. Memories flooded back, his childhood in Balmaclellan, his mother painting by the window, her laughter echoing through their modest home. She had raised him alone after his father left, teaching him how to dream, how to fight for something better. Every success he'd ever had traced back to her strength. He whispered to himself, "Please, just hold on, Mum." When the plane landed, he rushed straight to the hospital. The corridors smelled of antiseptic and fear. Nurses moved quickly, whispering into headsets. At the end of the hall, he saw her name written on a whiteboard outside the intensive care unit. Chrissy Heughan, cardiac ward. He stopped there for a second, unable to push open the door. His hands were shaking. When a doctor approached, Sam's voice cracked as he spoke. "Is she going to be okay?" The doctor hesitated. "She's stable for now, but it was a major attack. We need to monitor her closely." Those words, "for now," cut through him like a blade. He was finally allowed into the room. Machines beeped softly around her. Tubes and monitors surrounded the woman who had once seemed invincible. Her skin looked pale, her breathing shallow. Sam pulled a chair close to her bedside and took her hand carefully, afraid of breaking something fragile. "Mum, it's me," he whispered. "I'm here." She didn't open her eyes, but her fingers moved just slightly, curling weakly around his. That tiny movement shattered him. He bowed his head, pressing her hand to his forehead, fighting tears. "You can't leave me yet," he said under his breath. "You promised you'd be there opening night." Outside the ward, the hospital staff recognized him, but no one asked for autographs. They understood this wasn't a celebrity moment. It was something painfully human. By evening, word had leaked to the media. Outlander star Sam Heughan's mother hospitalized after heart attack. Paparazzi gathered outside, but hospital security kept them at a distance. Inside, Sam remained by his mother's side, refusing to leave even for food. Messages began pouring in online. Fellow actors, producers, and thousands of fans sent their prayers. Hashtags like #StayStrongSam and #Pray for Chrissy filled social media feeds. A post from his Outlander co-star read, "Sending love and strength to the Heughan family." But Sam didn't see any of it. His world had narrowed to the quiet rhythm of the heart monitor beside him. Every beep felt like hope, every pause like terror. He thought back to the times she had supported him when no one else did. Sewing costumes for his school plays, staying up all night painting just to pay the bills. He remembered her telling him, "Whatever you do, do it with heart." Now, it was her heart that was failing. Sometime past midnight, a nurse gently tapped his shoulder. "You should rest, Mr. Heughan," she said softly. He shook his head. "Not tonight." Hours passed in slow motion. Rain tapped against the hospital windows. Sam sat motionless, his mother's hand still in his. Every sound, the machines, the whispers in the hall, blurred into white noise. At 3 a.m., the doctor returned for another update. "She's stable," he said again. "But it's going to be a long recovery." Sam exhaled shakily, tears finally slipping down his face. For the first time in hours, he allowed himself to hope. Still, as dawn approached, one thought haunted him. Fame, success, applause. None of it meant anything right now. The only thing that mattered was that fragile heartbeat behind the hospital door. And though the world outside kept moving, for Sam Heughan, time had stopped. With a son's silent prayer that his mother would open her eyes again, the morning sunlight slipped through the thin hospital curtains, painting faint gold on the floor. Sam hadn't slept. He was still sitting in the same chair, the same clothes, holding his mother's hand. The steady rhythm of the heart monitor had become a strange kind of comfort. Every beep meant she was still there. Hours earlier, the doctors had told him she was out of immediate danger. The worst had passed, but her condition remained fragile. It was a small victory, one he clung to like oxygen. He finally leaned back and exhaled. For the first time since that terrifying phone call, his shoulders eased just slightly. "You scared me, Mum," he whispered, half smiling, half crying. Outside the room, a nurse slipped him a cup of tea. "You should take a walk," she said gently. "Get some air." He nodded but didn't move. His phone buzzed on the table beside him. Dozens of missed messages from friends, colleagues, journalists. One from Katrina Balfe read simply, "Thinking of you. We're all here if you need anything." He typed back a short reply, "Thank you." Then, for the first time in days, he opened Twitter. What he saw made his throat tighten. Thousands of messages from fans around the world, prayers, hearts, letters of love. Photos of candles, flowers, even paintings of him and his mother filled his feed under the hashtag #StayStrongSam. Someone had written, "He gave us strength through his roles. Now it's our turn." He blinked away tears. "You see that, Mum?" he said softly. "You've raised an army." For the next few days, Sam rarely left the hospital. Nurses came and went. He answered calls from the doctors, signed papers, brought flowers into the room, and talked to his mother even when she couldn't respond. He told her stories from set, from childhood, from anywhere, anything to fill the silence. At night, when the halls grew quiet, he would replay the past. He remembered being a boy, watching her paint by candlelight. He remembered the smell of turpentine, the sound of rain outside. He remembered her laughter when he first told her he wanted to be an actor. "Then be a great one," she'd said, "but never forget who you are." Those words echoed now, clearer than ever. One morning, as the sun began to rise, something changed. Sam felt her hand twitch. He froze. Her eyelids fluttered once, twice, then opened. "Mum," he whispered, leaning forward. Her eyes were tired but bright. She tried to speak, her voice faint. "You look awful," she teased weakly. A laugh escaped him, half choked by tears. "You scared the life out of me." "I told you," she murmured, "I'm too stubborn to go anywhere." The relief that washed over him was indescribable. He pressed her hand to his cheek, unable to stop smiling. For a moment, the weight of everything, the fear, the exhaustion, the fame, disappeared. It was just them again, mother and son, the same as it had always been. Over the next few days, she grew stronger. Each hour brought a little more color back to her face, a little more spark in her voice. Sam finally allowed himself to sleep, though he stayed close, never more than a few steps from her side. The media frenzy outside continued, but Sam ignored it. Instead, he posted a single message on Instagram. "Nothing matters more than family right now. Thank you all for your kindness. Mum's fighting, as she always has." The post went viral within minutes. Fans flooded the comments with love and relief. Fellow actors, friends, even strangers left notes of encouragement. For once, the internet felt united, not by gossip, but by genuine compassion. In an interview weeks later, when asked about that time, Sam's voice softened. "You think you're strong," he said, until someone you love almost slips away. Then you realize what strength really means. It's not about fame or success. It's about showing up when it matters most. A month later, Sam Heughan was finally discharged. Cameras waited outside the hospital, but Sam shielded her from them, walking beside her protectively. She smiled faintly, waving once before getting into the car. That evening, Sam sat by her bedside at home, a mug of tea between them. The house smelled of her paints again. "You don't have to stay here forever, you know," she said with a grin. "You've got a world waiting." "I'm not going anywhere until you're painting again," he replied. She reached for his hand. "Don't stop shining, my boy." He smiled through tears. "Only because you showed me how." The story spread quietly. No scandal, no controversy, just a reminder that even the strongest heroes have moments of fear and faith. When Sam finally returned to work weeks later, the first thing he posted was a photo of a sunrise over Scotland with the caption, "Fame fades, family doesn't." And somewhere, in a small art studio filled with light and color, his mother smiled. Her heart still fragile, but her son's love stronger than ever.